A die-hard Aston Villa fan is shelling out hundreds of pounds after deciding to cut his family holiday short to fly 3,000 miles to make this weekend's all-important playoff final at Wembley. Scott Campbell, from Great Barr, is currently enjoying a 2-week holiday in sun-kissed Paphos, Cyprus, where he's been since May 13. This weekend, though, his beloved Villa face off against Fulham in arguably the biggest game in the club's recent history as they attempt to win promotion back to the Premier League. He will now pay around £500 to fly home a day earlier than planned to make the game at Wembley on Saturday. Speaking to Birmingham Live from Cyprus, Scott told us, "I flew out from Birmingham Airport with Mum and Dad on May 13 for what was expected to be a 2-week holiday." Scott Campbell in his Aston Villa shirt on Paphos Beach. "We are here with our family friends, Julie and Steve. However, things haven't gone quite to plan. I didn't for 1 minute think about the championship playoffs when we booked the holiday. However, as the holiday got closer, it dawned on me that my beloved team Aston Villa looked to be finishing in the top 6. Once I noticed the date for the final, I quickly realized that I was expected to be out of the country for the match, although Villa had a lot to do to get there still. They played the first leg of their first tie against Boro the day before we flew out, which they won 1-0. At this point, I was thinking, we looked in a good position to get to the final, but, as ever with Villa, I expected the worst in the second leg. On the morning of the second leg, I was heading to the beach where my best friend called to say he could get me a ticket to the final if we were to reach it. Scott Campbell and his mum abroad in Cyprus. I was filled with mixed emotions. I obviously wanted Villa to get to Wembley, but I also didn't want to cut my holiday short if I was to go to the match. It was a huge dilemma to say the least," Scott added. "I was delighted to see us reach the final, and my mind was made up. Much to my mother's annoyance, I was having to cut the family holiday short to make sure I get there." His flights to Paphos had already cost him £300 all in, with a flight back to Birmingham in the early hours of Saturday, May 26, costing an extra £100. According to Scott, his match ticket and travel to Wembley would then cost an additional £200. All gone. Aston Villa sell their Wembley ticket allocation. "For anyone who knows me, they will know that I love holidays," he added, "and for me to cut it short would be unimaginable in normal circumstances. But this wasn't a normal circumstance. Money was never really the issue and, although I knew it would be expensive to get back, I knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see Aston Villa in the playoff final. These games don't come around very often." Scott Campbell on holiday with UTV on his chest and sun cream. "My dad, who, ironically, is a Birmingham City fan, was at the European Cup final in 1982 where Villa lifted the trophy against Bayern Munich. I have been jealous about this for my entire life, but I feel this is the biggest game this club has had since that match and I wasn't going to miss it. I am also getting to experience the match with my best friends, and fellow bandmates, Andrew Cummins, Dean Bennett and David Forbes." When asked what his mum and dad made of him cutting their holiday short, Scott said, "My dad understands the size of the occasion, but my mum, who isn't a football fan, just can't grasp the idea of why I would want to travel back over 2,000 miles for it." The manager's fired up. "Get about them, free travel. I keep explaining though, we will have holidays again but I don't know when I will get to see Villa play at Wembley again. My girlfriend Gemma Sheldon, who usually comes on holiday with me, isn't actually with us this time. She couldn't use her time off. When I told her I was going to be coming home early, she was over the moon as she thought I was going back as I was missing her. However, when she found out the real reason, let's just say she wasn't best pleased. I cannot wait for the game, and when I get back to the UK, I owe a massive thank you to Massive Mick and Lorraine Forbes, who gave me one of their match tickets.